Hello everyone, welcome to the Concern podcast where we unpack political, social, economic and cultural stories shaping our world. I am Emmanuel Taban. Now a very interesting story. The SPLA-IO appears not to be giving up. Of course, after the recent clashes between the SSPDF and the SPLA-IO in areas of in counties of Jonglei State, in areas like in Uror, in areas of Pajud, the SSPDF has shown an impression that they have crushed down the SPLA-IO forces and that they have recaptured these areas and they have regained control, and that the SPLA-IO are no more in control of those areas, of which I believe the statements are true to some extent. But there are other areas also that appears to be still under the control of the SPLA-IO. And the reason why I'm giving the SPLA-IO appears not to be giving up, because just a few days after the massive operation by the SSPDF against the SPLA-IO that led to the recapture of those areas that were initially taken by SPLA-IO, the SPLA-IO forces launched some attacks again in different parts of the country. One is an attack in Upper Nile State in Belait County. Belait County is located like 52 kilometers away from Malakal, which is the capital of the state. And on Saturday, around 6 a.m., there was clashes between the SSPDF and the SPLA-IO. And the SPLA-IO this time around, we're not fighting alone. They're fighting alongside the White Army militia. They're fighting the SSPDF or the government forces alongside the White Army. And that incident did not only happen in Belait County. It was repeated in Western Equatoria State, and that is in Yambio, where the same clashes happened between SSPDF and SPLA-IO. But the one in Belait County, according to reports, about 15 soldiers from the SPLA-IO were killed. And even the reports claim that the numbers could be more, that over 300 SPLA-IO soldiers are killed, but this isn't verified. The actual number for now is that 15 SPLA-IO soldiers were killed in the incident that happened in Belait County of Upper Nile State. And that incident was carried out by the SSPDF. In Yambio County, on the other hand, the same incident, and there were no reports about deaths, but that civilians were forced to go into hidings in the bush for fear of their lives. So this is what is happening in the country. There appears to be an escalation of conflict in different parts of the county, and no one is going to deny this. The SSPDF spokesperson might come out and say there is nothing much happening in the country. The government spokesperson might come out and say there's no war in the country. But I believe that peace is not when only there is no fighting in Juba. Peace is not only when the places that are occupied by the government offices are silent from guns. There might be peace in Juba, but in different parts of the country, they are not at rest. In Upper Nile, I believe civilians are not at rest. In Jonglei states, civilians are not calm. They appear to be on a panic mode, that anytime anything might happen. And this increases the perception that there is war in the country. I mean, when you read stories from international media houses, you can easily see that the country is in a stage of getting back into full scale of conflict, just like what happened in 2013, just like what happened in 2016. There appears to be a repeat because of the developments that happen every single day. There appears to be attacks and counterattacks between the SSPDF and the SPLA-IO. And this poses a very big question. How much more lives do we want to get buried before the country comes into a realization that the only solution for the country to go forward is peace? How much blood do we want to shed so that we can know that our people are tired? For how long do we want our people to run out of the country and stays in foreign countries for decades without enjoying their home country? This is a big question that I feel both parties have to think about it. That it's not just about power. It's not about protecting this power. It's not about who becomes the president, who becomes the leader. Leadership should be centered not on power wrangles, but on service delivery. It should be people-centered. It should focus on service delivery. It should focus on the needs of the people. Because from the people, there comes the mandate of a government. If the people don't respect the government, that means the government is not legitimate. That means the government has not their mandate, and therefore they are not entitled to rule over them. The best thing that both parties should realize is that the only solution to the problem of the country is when they embrace peace. And there are so many factors that I think they have to consider. From the ongoing detention of the first vice president, and I think the government has to really think deep about that. Because as long as Machar is going to be in detention, I don't think there is going to be any peace. And I feel it is high time the government of President Kiir realized that sometimes being a leader involves making hard decisions. Sometimes it involves making decisions that makes you look like a fool. Sometimes it involves decisions that makes you to forgiving someone who have even done the worst thing for you. And that is leadership. It's all about forgiveness. It's about having a soft heart. It's about reconciliation. And I always hold the view that the best thing that President Kiir should do, and the best thing that will make him gain popularity, the best thing that will make the people rally behind him, is when he ordered for the unconditional release of Machar. I know the issue is in the judiciary department. No, the issue is in court. But that issue is Machar and his colleagues versus the state. And I feel that the state has the right to withdraw all charges. I know many people might ask, how about the lives of those who were lost in the incident in Nasser? Yes, these lives are gone, of course. And if there's anything that both parties have to do is to work on a compensation model, on a compensation mechanism. The lives are gone. The detention of my child will never bring back those lives. And it's not even confirmed that my child was very involved in that incident. So it is entirely up to the president to decide on the future of this country. The ball is on the hands of the president. The major decision, the major determinant of the future of the country is on the president. He'll either make a decision that will make the country realize peace, or make the decision that will take the country back to war. Thank you. Before we close today's episode, here's a quick message from our sponsor, Wanit.co. If you've been planning to build a website, but the cost has been holding you back, Wanit.co makes it affordable and stress-free this time around. Whether you are an individual, a non-profit organization, or a business, Wanit.co designs professional websites starting from as cheap as $250. Individuals can actually launch with a starter website of up to 7 pages and a free email, or choose an advanced option with unlimited pages, a professional portfolio, and branding support. For non-profit organizations, they can select flexible packages from basic websites to premium solutions with e-commerce features and ongoing support. And for business companies, Wanit.co delivers company-ready website with hosting, staff training, and multilingual options, and online stores. And the best part of it is actually that you can build your dream website within your budget. Wanit.co is an affordable, accessible, and professional partner. And to get started, you can actually visit Wanit.co or email them at info@wanit.co, or you can get in touch with them through their WhatsApp number at +1 226 504 3322. Wanit.co, proudly affiliated with Jobs to Apply. And if you're wondering of what I'm talking about, here are some samples of website created by Wanit.co. You can see them right here.